Hello and welcome to the OMFL Jacksonville Jaguars review, the recap show I do for the Jacksonville Jaguars of the OMFL. I'm Mike Fleury, and today we'll be discussing weeks 13 and 14 of the season. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, getting close to the playoffs. First, we'll check out the standings in the AFC. As you'll see, the AFC South, the Jaguars currently sit at 10-3, 3 games above the Tennessee Titans, with 4 games left to play. You can also see the Las Vegas Raiders are at 7-6, putting them in the wild card chase, along with the Baltimore Ravens at 9-5, the Cincy Bengals at 9-4, and the Miami Dolphins at 8-6. Why this is relevant is, as you can see here, right now we hold the 3rd spot, just ahead of the Denver Broncos. If we win 1 game, and I believe that's the only condition, we will take the division. We will take the AFC South. However, However, it isn't over yet. There are the top 3 teams, of course, as I've listed: the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Ravens are the 3 wildcard spots right now, and the Titans still have a chance with a pretty favorable schedule ahead to sweep the rest of the season, giving them 11 wins on the total. Miami, Cincy, and Baltimore, both with 4 games left as well, will also have a chance to be at or above 11 wins. Some of them clash against each other. I'm not going to go over the schedules, but I believe Miami plays at least 1, if not more, of the AFC North. Actually, you know what? I lied. We are going to go over the schedule really quick before we get into our games. Team schedule: the Miami Dolphins. They lost this week to the Texans, which is a devastating loss for their playoff hopes, leaving their matchup against the 49ers and the Browns left to go. This is a difficult path for them, and theirs is probably the most difficult going forward, especially after losses to the Jets and Texans in back-to-back weeks. The Ravens, as we get down to them, they have games. They beat the Giants this week. They have games against the Steelers, Texans, and Browns. So that division is still very much up for grabs. And you will likely see the winners coming out with 12 or more wins, and other teams in the division probably finish around 10. And finally, continuing, we have the Bengals. They have games against the Titans, which is big for our playoff hopes, because if the Tennessee Titans lose, that might very well clinch a spot for us. They also place the Browns and Broncos, so I was wrong. This is probably the toughest. The Bengals trying to make the playoffs is probably the toughest schedule. They have 3 really hard games in a row. And Penguins, even though he's had not a great season and he hasn't adjusted well to this Madden, he's a very good player. This stretch of games could be what finally sinks the Bengals. But if they can pull out a couple wins, 2 wins, 11, that puts 11 on the season, puts them right up there. We'll probably see 4, 7, all 7 playoff teams probably finish with 11 wins or better. So it is far from over. as we get ourselves into the final stretch of our season. We have a game against the Jets, which is in the process of being scheduled. The Raiders, who, if the Neon Sports app is correct, have one of the best offenses and defenses, despite not having a great record. We have the Titans again. We narrowly beat them in Week 14, which we'll discuss in a moment. And then we have the Colts to end the season, who are trying to figure out how to play this game, but have gotten 2 wins in a row, one against the Lions, one against the Patriots. So they might be playing spoilers. So the season is far from over. Our playoff spot is far from locked. I don't know why I left this page. But the last 2 wins, one against the Texans and against the Titans, the 2 we'll discuss today, they are major for the team. This could hopefully, it puts us in a driver's seat. We only need 1 win in one of these last 4 games or a Jets loss. So we would prefer to win. We would prefer not to go on a slide entering the playoffs. But we'll see what happens. Now, week 13 against the Texans, this was a crazy game. You're going to see 11 passing attempts for Lawrence, but I only ran the ball 24 times. So I'm going to skip right over most of the game and explain how this became the way it became. As you see, if you look at the top there, it's 14-0 after the first. It goes into the fourth quarter. We have a 24-3 lead, and then we score a touchdown within the first 3 plays, or the first 5 plays of the fourth quarter, and in our only 2 plays of the fourth quarter. Because what happened after that, with a 31-3 lead, I believe at the time. No, it was 31-10. We had a 31-10 lead. Houston goes down, scores a touchdown, 31-17. They kick an onside kick and recover it, score another touchdown, which really burned me. It was a DeMarco streak touchdown, which I had double covered. And you see it's 57-yard long for the touchdown there of one of his 6 catches for 128. That was infuriating and also a little worrying. But me personally, I'm thinking, all right, we'll get the ball back. To this point, he hasn't really done much to stop our run game. Our pass game has been efficient and good. And then I just don't get the ball again. He manages to pick up another onside kick. That's 2 onside kicks bouncing off my team's hands back into his. He gets the ball back with about a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so left to play. And I am in scramble mode. Fortunately, it doesn't look like I got dinged for the 11 passing attempts. I think anybody who saw the game knows that I would have easily made over the passing attempts. I also got sacked once. But not having the ball, with the exception of 2 plays in the fourth quarter, 2 plays that lasted about 30 seconds total, it made doing anything pretty impossible. It was definitely a game that I wished I could have just shut down a little quicker. Travis Etienne, 139 yards and 2 scores. This is his first game with his Superstar X Factor. We got it early, and once he has it, we're no longer worried about fumbling. It's just a complete relief. It allows you to kind of run a little more freely. Our passing attack wasn't great in this one, but we made the passes we had to. We had a couple deep plays for not touchdowns, sorry. We had a couple deep plays that almost went for touchdowns. Got stopped a little early, ran the ball in. It was a tough win. It was a much needed win. Got us to 9-3 on the year. But it was a butthole puckering game, I can tell you that. 2 interceptions on the game to add to our season-leading total. This is with Devin Lloyd. Our DBs have not been intercepting passes like they were earlier in the season. But thankfully, we managed to get enough to get some extra scores, build up a lead before all hell broke loose. Entering into the week 14 against the Titans, as I've already stated, they are our main competition for the division. This was an absolute defensive matchup, complete defensive nightmare, or offensive nightmare for both of us. Goes to the first half, Tennessee takes a 7-0 lead late. Get the ball back. I managed to score 3 times following the opening kickoff of the half. Scored on that drive. Interception, scored. And then we got the ball back and scored again. Tennessee did make a game of it, coming back to be down 1 and had a chance to tie, I believe. But we managed to shut them down for the most part and run out the clock. As you see, only 221 offensive yards gained for us, 203 for the Titans. No passing attack, no rushing attack. It was a really difficult game. Jordan Love, 11 of 20, and an interception. Trevor Lawrence, 7 of 13, touchdown and an interception. Travis Etienne was good, but 14 carries, 80 yards. It was efficient, and the run game was fine, but it never really seemed to break until later in the game. His rushing attack, same problem. They were less efficient, but just could never seem to get going. You see, none of his receivers really managed to break out. You'll notice the same for ours. Brian Thomas had a really good game, though, 4 catches for 78. But Fredrickson, 1 for 3, and he's our top receiver, 90 some odd overall. And we just could not get anything going. Defense was really the name of the game in this one. Devin Lloyd was incredible. 11 tackles, 3 for loss. We had some sacks. Hines Allen finally throwing his weight around. Another interception, this time by Aluakun. But again, our corners just have not been getting the picks like they were earlier in the season. That is hopefully something that we can remedy and figure out as time goes. But as long as we keep winning, I don't think it really matters one way or the other. We are getting near the end of the season. I have 2 shows left as far as planning goes. I'm going to do a show following the Raiders game. It should be probably next weekend, if the timing runs through. And then one final one after the Colts game to end off the season. And then next year we will be doing, following that routine of doing one of these shows every 2 games. So that'll be 9 shows of the regular season, a recap show for the end of the season, also a preview show for the beginning of the season, cover all the free agency, all the draft stuff. We'll do it all in one shot. That'll give 11 Jaguars reviews to go along with 10 highlight shows, 10 articles, 250 points. Bob's your uncle, I get gold. Incentive points, and that is the goal. It is 5:47 in the morning if I sound tired and with lacking the normal energy I like to bring to these, which admittedly isn't much more than what it is now, but still, more is more. Actually, just before we go, I haven't really checked out the AFC. Or, sorry, we are the AFC. I haven't checked out the NFC. Looks like I've only played one team that is in the playoffs. That was the Bears. Over here, we played the Browns. Should have won, didn't. Played the Bills. Shouldn't have won, and very much did not. Played the Dolphins. Should have won, did. All right. Anyways, I'm running out of cognitive function, so I'm going to end this episode, get it downloaded, and put it on the website. As I said, another show after the Raiders game, and then we'll do the year end. So I'm not going to go over all the stats and stuff this time. So for the OMFL Falcons, nope, that's not right at all. For the OMFL Jacksonville Jaguars is what I meant to say. I am Mike Fleury, and as always, I will try to do all of this better next time.